In this video, I'll show you April 17, 2021. A large group of teenagers on BMX bikes rode through the city of Perth Amboy, New Jersey. In footage captured by 18-year-old Christian Orozco, the riders can be seen ignoring stoplights, riding on the wrong side of the road, crossing double yellow lines into traffic, and performing wheelies and other tricks while riding on the street. Most of the riders were not wearing helmets, according to a statement issued by Perth Amboy Mayor. Hellman J. Kaba, the police department, received multiple calls about a, quote, large group of bicyclists riding on various streets through the city in unsafe and reckless manners, causing motorists to stop or swerve away from the group. Several vehicles from the Perth Amboy police responded to these calls, and after the riders evaded attempts to stop them several times, officers were finally able to detain a small group of the riders.
Everyone stop right there, right now! Stop right there, right now!
Come on, guys, stop. I want to talk to you guys. We're not taking your bike.
That's a hemorrhoid.
Go ahead, no.
Last time y'all did that.
Y'all trying to take my bike over.
Last time y'all did that, y'all took my bike. No.
Guys, we're not going to take your bike, all right? If you guys keep doing what you're doing, we're going to take your bike.
What are we doing?
Okay, listen.
That's why you want to talk to you. You're running. Why?
No.
Because you guys take bikes.
Just chill out.
All right, look. You guys are supposed to have licenses and all kinds of stuff.
4 cops for bikes.
Nah, just let him talk, bro.
Yeah. Listen, I don't make the rules.
Yo.
Guys, we don't make the rules.
Nah, chill out, bro.
Listen to you no more.
Can I take a water break? Listen.
We don't make the rules. You guys know.
We need a license for a bike.
Listen, you guys know when there's like 30 or 40 of you guys together, it creates a problem for the people driving the cars. We want you guys to have fun. We want you guys to ride your bikes. Nobody wants to take your bikes. It's a beautiful day out. All right? Listen, be careful. We want
Yeah,
you
but we
kids to
get
have-
kicked out from every spot we go to.
Well, look, when you go
Like the beach, we went there and we got kicked out.
He's bored.
Yeah. All right, listen, when you roll like 40 deep or 30 deep and you guys are in the middle of the streets and causing cars to move over for you guys, you know we're going to come here and talk to you guys, right? I mean, listen, these bikes are not cheap bikes, all right? We want you guys to have fun. You guys should have helmets. You guys are supposed to have, yeah, I see you do. I'm just saying, you know, you guys are supposed to have licenses.
He's being chill, bro.
So look, I just want to give you guys fair warning. I appreciate you guys stopping, okay? All right, I told you I promised you run this.
I'm going to tell you something. You guys got to be fair warned. You're going to have to get licenses for your bikes. The officer informs the group of teens that they have to get licenses to continue to ride their bikes in the streets under Section 158-1 of the Code of the City of Perth Amboy. Quote, no person shall ride, operate, or propel a bicycle upon any street or other public highway in the city without first obtaining and having secured and attached to such bicycle a proper license tag for an individual to obtain a bicycle license. Section 158-3 states that they must submit a written application for a license to own and operate a bicycle to the Chief of Police. If the application is approved, the Chief of Police will provide a proper license tag which must be attached to the frame of the bicycle, quote, in a substantial manner. The city charges an annual license fee of 50 cents per bicycle. In Mr. Orozco's footage, the bikers can be seen violating several other laws pertaining to the operation of bicycles, including Section 14.2 of Chapter 4 of Title 39 of the New Jersey Revised Statutes, which requires that every person riding a bicycle on a roadway rides as near to the right roadside as practicable and provides the, quote, persons riding bicycles upon a roadway may travel no more than 2 abreast when traffic is not impeded, but otherwise shall ride in single file except on paths or parts of roadways set aside for the exclusive use of bicycles. Additionally, the riders appear to have violated Section 12 of the same chapter, which states that bicyclists should not ride the bicycle with their feet removed from the pedals or with both hands removed from the handlebars, nor should they practice any trick or fancy riding in a street depending on the age of the riders. They may have also violated Section 10.1, which requires individuals under 17 years of age to wear a helmet when riding a bike. While it is unclear how much of this behavior the officers observed or was reported in the calls citizens made to the police department, it is likely that the officers had the reasonable suspicion necessary to lawfully stop the teens.
We don't make them laws. The laws are made by the city people, and everyone's supposed to have them.
I saw the money bag out
They're
there.
working on doing that kind of stuff, but guys, please, just be a little safe for your safety, okay? All right, guys, I appreciate you guys stopping. Thank you very much. Okay.
So this is the last time I'm
That's all that. That's how you gotta handle business out here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, clap it up for him. Yeah.
What you mean? No, you ain't getting my shit.
Take their bike.
He just said no. What you mean?
Wait, sir. I had
He
to
just said no.
cool.
What you mean? Hell no. He just said no.
We wasn't even here.
She never talked to us. She never talked to us.
You ain't getting my bike. Okay. Go, young people just said, look, he got something different on from all y'all. He just said no.
Okay.
No, you're not getting my bike.
I advised 30 kids earlier today that they were not to be in the middle of the street. I advised.
When was this?
I'm on one. You're not getting my bike.
I advised.
You ain't put not $1 in it.
And your mom could come back and get it.
You ain't put not $1.
And your parents could come and get it.
You see $1? Did you put it all in this?
You know what?
The officers decided to confiscate them. According to Section 158-9 of the Code of the City of Perth, Amboy, quote, any bicycle being operated or propelled in violation of any of the provisions of this chapter, upon the personal observation of a law enforcement officer, is subject to immediate confiscation. A confiscated bicycle shall be returned upon payment of any fine imposed or upon any final adjudication. While not as common for bicycles, police are typically authorized to impound motor vehicles for traffic and parking violations when vehicles have been abandoned or if their owner is arrested and regularly do so. For example, Section 2.4 of Chapter 43 of Title II, C of the New Jersey Revised Statutes identifies various reasons law enforcement are authorized to impound vehicles. Police vehicle impoundment has generally been approved by the courts, and in the 1976 case of South Dakota versus Opperman, the Supreme Court approved of the practice, explaining that, quote, in the interests of public safety and as part of what the court has called community caretaking functions, automobiles are frequently taken into police custody. The authority of police to seize and remove from the streets vehicles impeding traffic or threatening public safety and convenience is beyond challenge. Given the history of judicial support given to this type of police seizure, it is probable that a court would conclude that the city's bicycle confiscation statute was permissible.
Wait, I'm not even doing anything. That's.
Get out. Get out.
What did we
Get off the bike.
Nah, I ain't even doing anything. Hold on. Nah, hold on. Wait.
I'm taking it.
Wait, yo, don't.
Bro, he said it's okay.
Wait, yo, hold on. Let them talk. Let them talk.
All right, listen. We're gonna let y'all talk.
It's over. Your parents will talk
If your son was out here, would you take your son bike?
I would.
No, get off the bike. No, in the H word, you wouldn't.
I couldn't leave. Get off the bike. He just got to stay out the way. We could go.
Listen to me.
Bro, we're gonna ride on the sidewalk. Bro, we live way in Edison. How we gonna get to Edison?
Not my problem.
Bro, how we gonna get to Edison?
Sir, can you give us a break?
Okay, well listen.
Look,
I
I
spoke to you guys on how it was. She told me that she was already here, and
But she didn't stop us though. She didn't even give us a talk.
all
Right, you
well,
just rode, we rode past you. That's how you know you capping.
I ain't even here. You guys know the
That's
little.
how you know that I talked to you, because you rode past me.
Nobody heard you.
The teens initially refuses to allow his bicycle to be confiscated by pulling it back from the officer who was attempting to seize it and then sitting on the seat for several minutes. But he eventually allows the officer to take it. He is then placed in handcuffs and taken into custody. While it is unclear why he was arrested or if he has been charged with anything, his attempts to prevent the officer from taking the bike could be considered a violation of Section 1 of Chapter 29 of Title II, C of the New Jersey Revised Statutes, which criminalizes any, quote, attempts to prevent a public servant from lawfully performing an official function by means of flight, intimidation, force, violence, or physical interference or obstacle, or by means of any independently unlawful act. Given the potential violations of municipal law and state, criminal and motor vehicle laws involved in this encounter, it is likely that the officers were within the scope of their authority to arrest this individual. Section 152 of Chapter 14 of Title 40A, of the New Jersey Revised Statutes asserts that, quote, the members and officers of a police department and force within. The territorial limits of the municipality shall have all the powers of peace officers, and upon view may apprehend and arrest any disorderly person or any person committing a breach of the peace. And Section 152.1 provides the, quote, any full-time, permanently appointed municipal police officer shall have full power of arrest for any crime committed in said officer's presence. Additionally, Section 25 of Chapter 5 of Title 39 of the New Jersey Revised Statutes states that any law enforcement officer may, without a warrant, arrest any person for violating the traffic code. While the encounter arguably could have been resolved more effectively through the issuance of a warning or a citation, the U.S. Supreme Court held in the 2001 case of Atwater v. City of Lago Vista that, quote, if an officer has probable cause to believe that an individual has committed even a very minor criminal offense in his presence, he may, without violating the Fourth Amendment, arrest the offender. Similarly, in the 2002 case of State v. Dangerfield, the Supreme Court of New Jersey refused to place limits on the authority of DOT police officers to arrest for minor offenses that occur in their presence, even though, quote, the modern view favors the issuance of citations and summonses over custodial arrests for minor offenses. With this legal framework in mind, it's highly likely a court would uphold the legal validity of this arrest.
I'm 6 feet.
You're not 6 feet, that's fine. Only your car is to come get your bike.
That's crazy, man. Yo, free him, bro.
They're not getting their bikes back.
You gotta take my info so I can get my bike?
They took your bike?
Yeah, they took my bike.
What's your name?
They took everybody's.
The officers began to leave. Mr. Orozco requested information on how to get his bike back. An officer took his name and advised him that he could retrieve his bike from the police station on his own since he was 18. The rider, who was arrested, was released several hours after the incident, and the bikes were returned to the riders. Following the incident, Mr. Orozco posted his footage on Instagram and TikTok, and the video quickly went viral. The incident was met with social media outrage and even drew criticism from Amol Sinha, the executive director of the ACLU New Jersey, on Twitter. In response to the outcry, Middlesex prosecutor Yolanda Cicconi's office released a statement indicating that the situation was under review by the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office, Perth Amboy Police Chief Roman McKeon, and other law enforcement officials from the city. The Perth Amboy Mayor's Office also stated that they are reviewing the incident. As of the date of this episode, the results of these investigations have not been released, and it is unclear whether any of the riders will be taking legal action. Overall, the Perth Amboy officers get a CB+, because although they remained within the bounds of they maintained a condescending and hostile demeanor throughout the encounter and exercised poor discretion by effectuating an unnecessary arrest on one of the bikers. There is an argument to be made that confiscating the bikes was unnecessary, but it is important to take into account the entire context of this encounter before drawing that conclusion. Regulating the use of bicycles is essential to the public safety of every city, and courts have confirmed that cities are free to regulate the use of any vehicle that is operated upon its roadways. Mr. Orozco has posted several videos to his user YouTube account of himself breaking various laws on his bike, and many of his videos focus on his interactions with police officers after doing wheelies through retail stores and shopping centers. So there is equally an argument to be made that taking the bikes was warranted, and this may not have been Mr. Orozco's first encounter with these officers. It is unclear why the officers arrested the gentleman on the red bike, but there are legitimate questions to be raised about the ethicality of the discretion exercised to make that arrest. Although there were clearly violations that the gentleman could have been legitimately charged with the arrest, did not positively contribute to the safety and security of the community in any real way, and making such an unnecessary arrest will only serve to validate this young man's negative perspective on law enforcement. Mr. Orozco and the other bikers get an F for recklessly endangering the lives of others while on the roadway, committing several violations in plain view of police officers, and for maintaining a rude and confrontational attitude throughout the interaction. Judging by the actions captured on this video alone, there is no doubt that intervention was warranted, and the department likely did receive several calls about the bikers as they claimed. Although the Perth Amboy officers certainly could have handled this situation better, it is difficult to justify any of the actions of the bikers, and the fact that they recorded themselves committing all of these violations and posted it to social media only adds to that difficulty. Ultimately, the attitude and recklessness of the bikers was the catalyst for this interaction unfolding the way that it did, and it will be interesting to see the results of the Middlesex County Prosecutor Office's investigation. Thank you very much for watching the video. Subscribe our channel for next video.